Hey folks, I'm Chris and I'm your Commander Mechanic, here with another new Philosophy Friday series. All month this month we're going to be doing what I call the Color Theory series, where we look at the 5 colors of Magic and break down their strengths and weaknesses and how they fit into the format of Commander. If you want to pick up any of the cards we talk about today and help support the channel, check out our affiliate, Harry Tarantula, for all of your cards and gaming supplies. Remember, use our code CMDR Space Mechanic at checkout to help support the channel. And stay tuned. This season of Philosophy Friday will be critical to our next big giveaway. Keep those eyes peeled. This week, we're looking at the color of nature, of primal strength, and of growth. Green is a color associated with unbridled natural expansions, the forces of beasts and elves, and the power of the land. Green is another of the most popular colors in Magic for some very good reasons. Let's dive in. Green's creatures are one of its primary strengths. Green gets amazing small creatures in the form of elves and humans with useful abilities that range from generating mana to destroying nasty man-made artifacts and enchantments, all the way to returning resources from the graveyard. The color also focuses on creature tokens, an ability which overlaps with white. Green can go tall, that is, a single creature with high power, or wide, many creatures with lower power. But either way, with green, the focus is power. Green's medium-sized creatures are likely to be beasts and oozes, which show attacking might or deny opponents resources, and typically either have strong utility or superior attack and toughness in comparison to creatures of other colors. And green's large creatures are massive elementals or titanic beasts, trampling across the battlefield and crushing through the defenses of others, often granting additional attack power to the rest of your team, or piling on keywords to stretch them beyond just a big body. Green is a color best known for the trample keyword, but least known for the flying keyword. So expect green's creatures to be more fond of intentionally crashing into opposition than trying to avoid it. Green's removal is very specific. While green is poor at removing creatures directly, it relies on what are called fight effects, having creatures deal damage to each other based on their power. Survival of the fittest is green's motto. Green shares some of these effects with red, but truly relies on its creatures for these effects. But green is very good at destroying man-made effects, namely artifacts and enchantments. You'll find that hatred of the unnatural is woven into green's fiber, where everything from the lowliest insect to thrashing beasts work to eliminate these threats. Green spells typically target these for removal as well, on a small targeted scale or on a massive scale. Green also has some land destruction abilities too, but more often than not target the unnatural or non-basic land type. Green wants to ensure a return to the natural, and our cities are not natural. The color's protection abilities vary, from creatures with Shroud or spells that grant hexproof, to plants and trolls with the ability to regenerate, through to some effects that give creatures indestructible. But we find protection most often in the form of just getting bigger. Effects that increase power or toughness are easy to find in green, and really lean into green's ethos of surviving just by being stronger, tougher, and badder than your opponents. Green doesn't typically care about spells on the stack, preferring to deal with them once they've entered the battlefield. Once your spell has been cast, you're in green's domain now. Ramp is the primary reason to play green. This is undoubtedly the color's greatest strength, in that everything from creatures to spells to enchantments help green make more mana. This very quickly breaks the game's core rules of only generating 1 new mana a turn, and lets green very quickly outpace other colors with the size and quantity of spells cast. Mana dorks are low-to-the-ground creatures that create mana. These are very quick and efficient means of skipping through your mana curve. However, by being so small, it often means that removal is key to counterplay against green. Ramp spells are where you'll find a lot of the attraction to the color green in the format of Commander. The ability to search your library for a land and put it onto the battlefield is very strong, and ensures green can go from 1 to 3 to 7 mana very quickly. When your opponents are casting 3 mana spells and you're casting 7 mana spells, you've broken the game. No other color ramps this consistently. Red and black get temporary gains only, and blue and white need to rely on artifacts to get ahead. These strong, permanent resource gains are very important to green's spread of growth and the natural world. Green also gets mana ramp in the form of mana doublers. Enchantments that make the amount of mana your lands produce shoot through the roof. This is a natural synergy, both the ability to put more lands into play and the ability to make those lands generate more mana. While these cards typically exist higher in the mana curve, green laughs at traditional mana curves thanks to its amazing mana generation utilities. Card draw used to be very rare in green. Outside of older cards like Sylvan Library, green rarely got any kind of natural card draw or draw fixing. However, in recent years, green has grown to be as proficient as many other colors in card draw, usually getting either straight unconditional draw effects based on casting creature spells, or draw effects based on the power of their creatures. Green also gets to draw cards when attacking too, something it naturally wants to do. Either drawing cards when a creature deals damage to a player, or drawing cards when a creature dies. Gaining knowledge and experience from combat, successful or otherwise, is now a cornerstone of green's flavor. Between green's ability to generate obscene amounts of mana and its ability to keep its hand full of cards to cast, you can see how green, much like blue, is a color that seems to synergize with itself. So with green's inherent strengths, what other unique benefits does it get? What could it possibly do better than being strong in so many core fundamentals? First, green shares black's love of using the graveyard as a resource. This is typically flavored by learning from the past or reclaiming lost resources. Green loves to pull back lands or spells or creatures from the graveyard. Not often getting straight reanimation effects, but green can reuse its creatures from the yard, but typically has to cast them again. Second, green plays very well in token and counter generation synergies. You'll find many ways that the strong get stronger, or the plentiful multiply in green. Enchantments like Hardened Scales, Parallel Lives, and Doubling Season are core focuses in green, and strategies you see very often across a multitude of decks. Evolution is another key aspect of the color too. You'll find many variations on using small creatures to turn into bigger creatures. Birthing Pod is a classic, but Eldritch Evolution and even Fauna Shaman are prime examples of how green turns creatures into other creatures, how the weak are sacrificed so the strong can survive. Lastly, green's tutors tend to be very strong but very narrow. Green gets some instant speed tutors and strong sorcery speed tutors, but typically only fetch creatures or lands. Green will struggle to supplement its strength with artifacts or enchantments, and as such must rely on its ability to grow, spread, and thrive from within its own strengths. Green's design is all about strength. The strength of body, the strength of will, and the strength of nature, which manifest in the physical, natural realm. If it wasn't grown or didn't happen naturally, crush it. Your training as a soldier means nothing when facing down a crash of beasts. Your cities will fall and be reclaimed by nature. either at the hands of the elves or by the course of time itself. Green supplements its few weaknesses by only making itself stronger. White adds the ability to generate tokens and counters. Blue adds to the knowledge that can be gained by studying the growth and evolution of nature. Black leans heavily into green's ability to use the graveyard as a resource. And red feeds the color's need to destroy the man-made world, giving in to impulse and emotion. Naturally, this makes green a fantastic core color to many decks, only making it stronger by building up its pillars of strength. Let me know in the comments below where you feel green's biggest strengths are and how you hope to see the color grow with new sets in the future. We'll see how that plays into our deck building together here on the channel. Until next time, folks, good luck and have fun.